Back in 1987, when Predator first introduced an alien menace to the world of cinema, it went on to inflame the imaginations of filmmakers for years to come. The Predator became a franchise unto itself, with it crossing over with some of the most famous movie monsters and superheroes in history. In particular, we've seen it clash with the Xenomorphs from the Alien franchise on numerous occasions, and these events really deserve all the hype they've received. There are numerous comic books, movies, novels, and video games that include the Predator, which has given us a lot of information about what makes them tick, even though some of them can be deemed as contradictory. The fact that these Yautjas have appeared in so many stories means that they have had an inconsistent record in terms of their combat abilities. There are some stories where the Predators are portrayed as unstoppable warriors, while others show them as being beaten in a fair fight by policemen from Victorian England. With the Predator being interpreted in so many different ways, it can be hard to get a sense of what they really are, especially because we've seen hordes of characters from this species. Very rarely have we seen kings or leaders within their ranks, as according to their culture, an audience with the Predator King is most definitely a rare sight. So, without wasting another moment, let's discuss every major Predator King we've seen in the franchise as of yet. Before we get into this explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to the channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. The One-Legged Predator Prince in Predator vs. Black Panther crossover comic. If the Yautja are the deadliest hunters in the galaxy, then the Black Panther is the apex predator of the jungle. Over the course of the 4-issue Predator vs. Black Panther series from writer Benjamin Percy and artists Chris Allen, Sean Hill, and Lee Ferguson, warriors of Wakanda, the alien warriors of a Yautja clan clashed over Earth's most valuable resource, known as God Metal or Vibranium, as the people of Wakanda call it. The Yautja turned Wakanda into a bloody hunting ground in search of the Wakandan Vibranium King T'Challa and his ancestors have protected for centuries. So, the first issue of the comic takes us years back in time. A rival Yautja clan, led by two brothers, staked a claim over a planet in the Wolf Star system as their hunting grounds. The brothers battled for the respect of their father, the king, who wielded a vibranium-tipped spear which absorbed and expelled kinetic energy as his prized hunting trophy. But this Predator King favored his stronger son over his smaller one-legged son, so they engaged in a blood hunt. Only one brother would survive. While he never wanted his weaker son to have a chance at all, the one-legged prince insisted on a fair fight, and to imply his support, King lent his prized spear to his older son. Now, the winner would go on to claim their honor and the throne. Naturally, the older brother's clan won their blood sport because of the rare metallic substance in the king's spear, collected during the father's month-long hunt on Earth. The advanced technology of the Yautja was laced with the God Metal, create a weapon that the younger brother simply couldn't defeat. But rather than killing his one-legged sibling and granting him the honor of dying in battle, the elder brother stripped him of his weapons, tied him to a totem, and left him to die in dishonor. But where his brother was bigger and stronger, the smaller prince was definitely smarter. The Yautja had already integrated a certain kind of tech into his body to make himself more powerful, including subcutaneous wrist blades, which he used to target the vibranium spear. If he could possess the metal that absorbs vibrational energy, he could fashion himself a helmet, body armor, wrist gauntlets, and a new leg in order to build himself into the ultimate predator. So this young Yautja took what remained of his disadvantaged clan and traveled to Earth to hunt down the source of the vibranium, the African nation of Wakanda. Soon, the Yautja hacked the cloaking technology shielding the kingdom from the outside world and invaded Wakanda, the isolated nation built on superior technology sourced from their vibranium supply. Even though King T'Challa chose to protect his kingdom by keeping Wakanda and their resources a secret, his sister, Princess Shuri, planned to open Wakanda's borders and share their resources with the world. But this came at a disadvantage because the Predators used their own cloaking systems to hunt the Black Panther as the Yautja prince sought to claim his vibranium-woven suit. Along with his hunting party, the Yautja first killed the Perimeter Watch before trapping Wakanda's people within the dome meant to keep the world out, turning Wakanda into the Yautja's hunting preserve. Soon, the Yautja launched a brutal attack on General Okoye and the Dora Milaje, slaying Nala and taking her head as a gruesome trophy. In retaliation, the Dora Milaje fought back fiercely, killing one of the hunting predators, managed to breach Wakanda's technology, and temporarily incapacitate King T'Challa. As the battle raged on, the Elder Seer, Magi Kina, had a vision of Wakanda's destruction warning that if T'Challa couldn't stop the invaders from claiming his throne, the kingdom would fall. Despite the chaos, T'Challa proved his mettle as the Black Panther killed one of the Yautja warriors, demonstrating that he was worthy prey. As the Predators continued their raid on Wakanda, they made their way to the Great Mound, which is the very heart of the nation's vibranium supply. But instead of continuing the hunt, the Predator Prince paused and decided to use the God Metal to craft all armor, weapons, and warships that he needed. With these new tools, he intended to not only defeat his father and older brother, to take the throne for himself and reclaim the honor he felt was unjustly denied to him. Meanwhile, the Black Panther and Wakanda's other elite warriors tracked the Predators. The hunt became a deadly game. One of the Yautja ambushed and killed Majikina, impaling him through the eyes with a spear while he was trapped outside Wakanda's protective perimeter. Unfortunately, Shuri, who had just survived a brutal fight with the Predator she killed, was left to avenge Majikina's death. She took the Predator's helmet to reverse engineer Yautja technology and turn the tide in their favor. On the other hand, T'Challa, struck down by the Predator's devastating plasma blast, found himself in the ancestral plane, seeking guidance from his grandfather, Azuri the Wise. Azuri had faced a similar threat. Hundreds of Wakandans had died defending their precious vibranium from the Yautja. The survivors had scavenged and studied the Predator's technology, leading to the creation of the advanced perimeter shield Wakanda now relied on, which was based on the Yautja's cloaking technology. Azuri, who had been labeled an isolationist, had made the difficult decision to cut Wakanda off from the outside world, believed that the only way to protect his people was to fortify the nation against not just the Predators, but all outside threats. Following this, at the Great Mound, the Black Panther, the Dora Milaje, and the War Dogs stalked the hunters into the mines. The Yautja unleashed an army of Predators clad in vibranium armor. Meanwhile, Shuri sent out a distress signal that was answered by Captain America's partner, the Falcon, outside the Wakanda perimeter shield. Shuri then hacked the slain Yautja's technology, took to the skies with Falcon, as her brother infiltrated the mines beneath Wakanda's Great Mound. On the other hand, the Yautja decapitated Akili and turned the Dora Milaje into a red spray as their alien weapons blew their heads off before they set sight upon their enemies. But Okoye survived and plunged her vibranium-tipped spear into the Predator's armor. As the remaining Yautja attacked from the shadows, Black Panther fought his way to their leader, the brother with the red scar. Then came the final moment as Black Panther and the Yautja Prince shed their armor. They fought face to face, skin to skin, and spear to spear as honor demanded. As T'Challa pinned the Yautja, put the vibranium spear to his throat, and told him to yield, Alien remembered the disgrace he suffered from his father and brother and attacked T'Challa, slashing at him with his subcutaneous wrist blades. Predator vs. Black Panther Issue 4 ended with the Yautja Prince and T'Challa at a standstill. As the Predators and the Wakandans proved evenly matched, the Yautja took the God Metal they came for with a promise to return for a rematch stronger than before. As Okoye reunited with the wounded king, Shuri and the Falcon intercepted the Yautja starship escaping with the stolen vibranium. Just when the Yautja Prince approached the atmosphere, he sent a message to his brother that he was returning home to win back his honor with the God Metal and with blood. But Shuri, being Shuri, planted a bomb on the Yautja ship, which then detonated, destroying the would-be king. So, in the end, nothing survived the blast except the vibranium. The Grenle King from Predator, Killer of Killers. So, the Grenle King is the imposing Predator warlord who makes his appearance in the fourth and final segment of the latest anthology film, Predator, Killer of Killers. While most of the film takes place on Earth across various time periods, there are key moments that tie everything together. After all three different stories culminate into the fourth segment of the film, it's revealed that the three main human warriors were captured by the Yautja after they defeated the Predators of their era, and were then brought to a massive Colosseum-like arena. It's here that the Grenle King makes his very first appearance, announcing that the humans will be forced to fight each other in combat, setting the stage for a brutal showdown. The three human warriors are told to fight to the death, and the one who lives would then have the honor of facing the Predator King in battle. As the fight progresses, the Grenle King does not waste any time showing just how dangerous he is. He commands the crowd with a stern aura, coldly makes it clear that the human warriors were all expected to fight for the Yautja's amusement. When Kenji hesitates and refuses to play along, the Yautja King doesn't flinch, nearly uses Predator tech to kill both Kenji and Ursa on the spot. Things briefly shift when Torres manages to break them free, and the group makes a desperate attempt to escape on the Predator spaceship, but the Grenle King wasn't about to let them go so easily and steps in himself. A brutal confrontation ensues and the Predator King almost gets to Ursa, but Kenji comes to her rescue. As a result, the Predator Warlord proves just how ruthless he can be by slicing off one of Kenji's arms in the middle of the chaos. Even when Ursa sacrifices herself to allow Torres and Kenji to escape in the stolen Predator ship, Grenle King doesn't seem too bothered. If anything, he looks excited and almost amused as he immediately declares the start of a new hunt and sends dozens of Predator ships after. This reaction honestly says a lot about what his character is really like. He seemed to be the apex predator among his kind by all means. Just the glare of his piercing red eyes is enough to understand that this guy isn't just a powerful warrior, but a hunter to the core, as he treats their escape not as a failure, but as an opportunity for an even greater hunt. It also gives us an idea about the Yautja hierarchy and culture, reinforcing the idea that the most dangerous predators aren't just brutes, patient, strategic, and obsessed with the thrill of the hunt. Again, there is a theory that Grenle King is not necessarily the king of Yautja Prime, just a very strong warlord who's revered by his forces. Even the name Grenle King is given by Ursa as a reference to Beowulf and her Viking heritage. But what do you guys think about the Grenle King? Is he the big boss, or are there Yautjas above him? Kalacta, the ancient ruler. No true Predator fan has ever liked the idea of a singular king or queen in the Predator race, as there are too many clans who have their own leaders. It just doesn't make any sense to have a Predator queen or king, but we think Kalacta was probably the closest Yautjas have had for a leader for their entire race. He was thousands of years old and fought against humans, Xenomorphs, and the enigmatic Drukathi race during his long reign. Kalacta appeared in the Rage War trilogy as a wise and competent leader every Predator respected. There's barely anything we know about him apart from that. He called for a gathering of Predators to fight against the Rage threat together with colonial Marines. We don't know his appearance in the book, but this fan art depicts a Predator leader in a similar position. But from the theories on the internet, it seems like Kalacta is supposed to be divine and immortal, while also possessing strength and abilities. In fact, there are also certain rumors about his mechanical tendrils being sentient beings under his control. So, as the leader of the entire Yautja race, Kalacta is undoubtedly one of the most powerful predators we've heard of. The Hybrid King. Not a Predator King per se, but the Hybrid King was the leader of the genetically engineered hybrid creatures created by the corrupted AI computer mainframe known as Toy. These hybrids possessed traits of Xenomorphs, Yautja, and humans. Physically, it was perhaps most similar to a Predalien, but with white skin. It had a high level of intelligence and could even speak like humans. We've also seen them use tools such as firearms, plus their method of reproduction is similar to that of the aliens, use facehuggers to impregnate hosts, including Xenomorphs. The Hybrid King had spikes on its body, and like Xenomorphs, these hybrids are a eusocial species with acid for blood. The King caste seems to be the largest of the white hybrids, and not much is known about how the Kings function. They seem to be leaders of their species. There was only one known king, and he was killed by an alien queen mother, but the drones seem to make up the bulk of the white hybrids and are smaller than the King, but seemingly no less intelligent. However, King was far more muscular in comparison to his drones, and aside from his white skin, seemed to have more in common with the Predator side of his makeup. His eyes were red, he bore mandibles, and he lacked a tail. His skin was also spotted, like Yautja skin sometimes is, but he did have inner jaws, and Xenomorphs were not offensive or otherwise aversive towards him. For those who don't know, the Hybrid King was featured in the Alien vs. Predator Deadliest of the Species comic book, which is a part of Alien vs. Predator Omnibus Volume 2. So, in Deadliest of the Species, we see that on board the Skyliner, the white hybrids are engaged by the protagonists, Karen Delacroix, female predator Big Mama, a group of mercenaries trained in the ways of the Predator, and an alien queen mother, allied to the group due to Karen carrying her last offspring, a royal chestburster. While the group of protagonists wipe out most of the hybrids, they are captured. The exception of Karen apparently dies after the chestburster just yeets out of her. Anyways, the Hybrid King plans to use each of the group, including the alien queen mother, as hosts for white hybrid queens place the killed warriors. However, the group is aided by the alien that came from Karen, which is also a white hybrid but looks more like a xenomorph. So this guy battles the Hybrid King, and as the group begins to escape during the battle, the Queen Mother, who's been impregnated with a white hybrid chestburster, kills the Hybrid King by grabbing him right before the chestburster emerges, causing it to burst through the king as well, killing them both. The chestburster is then consequently raised by Big Mama. The white hybrid/white xenomorph that helped the group also leaves with Big Mama and Ash Parnell, who we formerly knew as Karen Delacroix. Absolutely crazy, right? Prince was a royal Yautja who arrived on LV-1201 in response to a distress signal sent by an ancient predator in the Alien vs. Predator 2 video game. Presumably, he was the son of a king predator that we never saw in the game. It's possible that he used his father's ship as it was more elegant and royal in design compared to other Yautja ships. Prince survived the hunt on LV-1201, would one day become a king himself. Unfortunately, the story never received a direct sequel. Prince is still a popular and well-known Yautja. Throughout the game, it's implied Prince is a high-ranking hunter, likely an elite, judging by the conversations of human scientists studying his biohelmet after he's captured, the fact that all other predators he interacts with kneel before him. 19 years before the events of Alien vs. Predator 2, Prince and his clan attacked a Weyland-Yutani outpost on the jungle planet Korari, where he chased and injured colonial marine Vasily Rykov. But during the hunt on LV-1201, after the Prince's clan intercepted the transmissions sent by the ancient predator, he didn't know that Rykov was still alive, and his interest was mostly in hunting down the human prey. Actually, Rykov was now a general working for Weyland-Yutani Corporation, and by now, he had already caught his warship on visual. This meant that the humans were already aware of the predator's presence and were prepared. Eventually, the humans captured 2 of the Prince's clanmates using EMP bombs, which meant that it was now up to the Prince to rescue them. But the Prince soon found out that Xenomorphs are on the loose on this planet, and even though a Praetorian attacks Prince, after a brief fight, he definitively wins. The Prince then passes the valley and tracks his captive friends towards the observation pods. He soon infiltrates the pods, killing many corporate guards and synthetics on the way. However, he steps into an EMP trap, getting himself incapacitated, allowing Rykov to take his biohelmet away as a trophy. Now that Prince was confined, Rykov planned to use him for experiments or perhaps breeding a pred-alien specimen. Playable drone kills the scientist in charge of it. Corporal Harrison, Marine protagonist, releases him unwittingly. Prince then sets out to find his biohelmet to restore his honor, covers most of his weaponry, except for his smart disk. He did secure his clanmate's biohelmet and a plasma caster before finding his dead clanmate in the labs. Following this, the Prince hijacks a dropship and forces it to crash land in an alien-infested tunnel area with all human passengers killed. The surroundings are crawling with alien drones and runners, but with the plasma caster in the Prince's possession, he's able to defeat them more quickly than he could in the first level of the campaign. He then encounters a pred-alien underground, and just when he was about to enter into combat with it, another pred-alien attacked him from behind. But after battle, both pred-aliens are killed. Prince then uses the human transmitter to signal his clan. After a bloody battle with a Praetorian and many alien drones, his warship arrives and shoots down a human dropship. Prince's clan brother then rearms him with a smart disk. After this, again, the Prince enters yet another facility in an alien/humans crossfire and finds another fallen predator. The good news is that the dead hunter had left behind a plasma pistol, so Prince uses that to kill everything in his path before finding the entrance to the hive. Now, the hive is extremely dangerous as facehuggers lurk there in addition to the drones and runners. Here, the Prince duels a queen and kills her at the end of a deadly fight. Finally, he confronts Rykov. In the game, the Prince can use the plasma pistol or any of the other weapons he has depending on what the player uses to stun and damage Rykov. Before long, Rykov's exosuit is history. Old General meets his end. The game ends as the Prince recovers his biohelmet, and with it, his honor is restored. Marvelous verdict! So that's really all of the major Predator kings and leaders within the franchise. We really hope Badlands gives us a closer look at the Yautja culture and hierarchy, but having said that, what do you guys think? Will Predator Badlands directly link itself to Predator Killer of Killers? Will we see Naru return once more? Let us know your thoughts and theories in the comment box down below. We're always looking for new ideas for Predatorverse. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Otherwise, thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and have a marvelous day.